as a freelancer, and ma'am has been right now working as a freelancer, and she's coming to meditation 2 years back. She has been a wonderful spiritual tablet master. She's done her L1, and right now she's exploring her journey in meditation. And today we are gonna learn more about koshas and chakras through Anita Srinivas ma'am. Thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for contributing to your service for us. Thank you, and we welcome you with a grand applause and looking forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ravli ma'am. Nice introduction. So, masters, first, my pranams to Patriji for introducing meditation to us. My pranams to GK sir for introducing spiritual tablets to us, rather making it available to us. And also my gratitude to Ashok sir, Chandra sir, and all my soul sisters for making this platform available to all of us. So 3 weeks are over. Today we are entering the 4th week of this spiritual journey. In the last 3 weeks, we have learned about energy and energy management through the meditation. We have seen how our personality gets created since we are born up to the age of 35. We have seen how our personality plays a role in our goal setting, what we want to achieve, what we want to change, what we want to improve. So we have mapped our goal. Last week, Master Swarna has introduced us to Arshad Vargas. In these coming sessions, we are going to learn, we are going to understand how Arshad Vargas and our emotional imbalance impacts our various layers of energy in our body through the chakras and nadis. So we are going to start today with the Pancha Koshas. Let me share my screen. So Pancha Koshas are the 5 sheets of our body, the 5 layers to our body, or our soul rather. This concept comes from Taittiriya Upanishad. It goes like this. Sage Bhrigu wanted to know what Brahman is. He asked his father Varuna about it. His father replied, son, you do tapas and find out what Brahman is. Find out yourself. Sage Bhrigu went to the woods. He did tapascharya. He did inner research. And he felt that whatever existing in this universe, it is all made from Panchamahabhutas. And our body is made from anna, food. That is also Panchamahabhuta. So when it comes to us, our body is Brahman. He conveyed the same thing to his father. His father smiled and said, good son, but you need to do more research work to go closer to Brahman. So again, Sage Bhrigu went to the woods. He did tapasya again. And this time he realized that though a physical body is existing, there is something else needed to execute it. There is vital force. There is prana. That is the one that is executing our body, without which it cannot move. He conveyed the same to Father Varuna. Father Varuna said, good discovery, my son, but you have to do more tapas to find more truth. Sage Prabhu again went to the forest. Again he did tapasya. Now this time he realized, though there is body existing, though there is prana, there is something else that is governing these two. And that is our mind. So he felt, mind is Brahman. Sage Varuna said, son, you are in the right direction. But still, you have to do more tapas and do more research work to go closer to Brahman. Sage Bhrigu again went to the woods. Again, he did more tapasya. And this time he realized, this mind is also influenced with something else. That is the intelligence and knowledge. So he felt intelligence and knowledge. That is what Brahman is. He came and told his father Varuna the same. His father Varuna was very happy because so far it had been a good journey and good progress. He said, son, your progress is very good, but you have to do more tapas. Little more truth is left. Go ahead. Sage Prabhu went again to the woods. This time what happened? He did not return. So his father had to go to the woods and search for him. When he saw his son, he was surprised to find that he was in total bliss, joy. This joy is called Ananda, which is very close to Brahman. Brahman is a state. It cannot be described. It can only be experienced. When we sleep, a dreamless sleep, the deep, quiet sleep, that state, Brahman is such state. Sometimes we say, I slept like a log yesterday. That means we don't know our existence throughout the night when we are in that state. It is the same with the Brahman. But we are restricting ourselves to understand more about Pancha Koshas now for this class. So what happened? Sage Bhrigu, when he was doing meditation, he found out these layers one by one. First was Annamaya Kosha, that is physical body, that is a Sthula Sharira. Then comes Pranamaya Kosha, vital force, that is also Sthula Sharira. There is third layer, Manomaya Kosha, that is of emotions, knowledge, only emotions, Sukshma Sharira. Next comes Vijnanamaya Kosha. This consists of intelligence and knowledge. This is also Sukshma Sharira, which we cannot see with our eyes. Next comes Anandamaya Kosha. And this is only bliss. It's also called Karan Sharira. So as we are seeing, these are the dolls. If you put them into one another, they'll fit completely. And from outside, you can see only one doll. Same way, these layers exist. They envelop our soul. So these are the layers we can see here. And as you see, they are not restricted, they are not limited like these watertight compartments, but they merge into one another. And as we go from Annamaya Kosha to Pranamaya to Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya, they get subtler and subtler than the previous one. And Brahman is the innermost reality, which is untouched by any of these layers. So friends, when we do meditation, we can explore these layers one by one. These are the Pancha Koshas. We are going to know more details about them. Now, why we have to know about these Pancha Koshas? Always we think that we means this body, this my hand, my leg, my heart, my body organs, my mind. But unless we know these Panchakoshas, we cannot go beyond these limited thoughts. By understanding the Panchakoshas, we know that our existence is in multiple layers. It is not just this body, mind. So that helps us to move from this physical eye to the spiritual eye. And these layers are interconnected. They influence one another. Each higher layer has the influence on the lower layer. We will see that as we go ahead. Masters, when we fall sick, when we have some health issue, we go to the hospitals, we go to the doctor, our illness, our diseases, they get cured. But it happens that sometimes these illnesses, these diseases, if they are on a bigger form, they keep reoccurring again and again. And sometimes our doctors will say that certain medication we have to take lifelong. Or sometimes they will say there is no medicine available for certain health issue. That itself shows the limitations of the modern medical science. It's because they treat only our hardware, only our physical mind, our physical body and mind. But as we understand five koshas, we know our existence is in 5 layers. So, Dr. GK has discovered so many spiritual tablets and has laid a path where we can find out the root cause of our illness, which can get traced to these layers. So, when we correct it, we get the relief from the disease. So, what is not within the limitations of modern medical science that can be achieved here? So, let us see the layers one by one. Annamaya kosha. So, this is the first layer. Anna means food. Maya means modification. So, we are nothing but food modified, rearranged, and formed this body. All of us know how we are grown up. We were tiny, small cells. We got replicated, our organs formed, our body formed. We were a baby then. Then after that, we are child, we are young person, we are adult. We are undergoing so many modifications. There is phase when we develop muscles, we get strength. So many things are happening. What is the input for that? What is the source? It is the food. That is why this layer is called Annamaya Kosha. This is our physical body. We call it Annamaya Kosha. And this is Sthula Sharira because we can see our body parts, we can study them, we do experiments with them. So Our physical body is all our DNA, our cells, our tissues, muscles, nerves, organs, everything that exists in our physical body. And if we look at the creation, from Brahman got created Akasha. From Akasha got created air. From air got created fire. From fire got created water. From water got created earth. From earth, all the plant kingdom arose. So our food comes from this plant kingdom. That is what we consume, and our body is made from this food. And when our journey ends, this body again becomes one with the earth. So our journey of the physical body starts with the earth and ends with earth. That is why we have deep connection with the earth. And so this Annamaya Kosha, we can nurture it by consuming the right food. So as I said, that it's a plant kingdom. We pick up our food from there. And that is what our body is designed for. So we must consume the right food. If we take our body as a hardware, and that is what the modern medical science treat it as. So we know how many things are happening in our hardware. We keep thinking all the time, our brain is working. Our heart beats, our lungs, they keep exchanging the air. Stomach is digesting the food, the enzymes that are working, the hormones that are working, this kidney that is busy filtering all the toxic from our blood all the time. So many things are happening. There are so many biochemical reactions happening. These are all called physiological processes in the body. And it all needs energy. All of us know anything that happens needs energy. And these things, these physiological processes that happen, whether we are aware of them or we are not aware of them, even if we are sleeping, the processes go on. And another surprising fact is our heart pumps the blood to the brain against the gravity. It collects the blood back from the toes to the heart against the gravity. Anything that comes down, it goes towards the gravity. But here, things are happening against the gravity. Anything that happens against the gravity, all of us know how much energy it consumes. So our physiological processes need energy, and this pumping of the blood also needs great energy. From where this energy is coming? It is coming from Pranamaya Kosha, the next layer. It is a second layer. It is also called energy body because that is supplying the energy. It is Stula Sharira because the physiological processes, the biochemical reactions that can be seen, observed in the laboratories, can be studied. That is why we call it Stula Sharira. And it is subtler than the Annamaya Kosha, of course. So as we know, physiological processes are happening here. There are Pancha Pranas that carry out these physiological processes. Else it will not happen. These Pancha Pranas are Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. These words are familiar to us. If we go to temples, so many times I have heard priests saying, Pranaya swaha, Panaya swaha, Vyanaya swaha, Udanaya swaha, Samanaya swaha. It's nice to hear, but I never understood the meaning until I came across this Pancha Koshas. So these are the five pranas. We'll see the functionality of each one. Pranavayu, that governs our thoracic area. It helps us in breathing. There's Apanavayu, that governs the abdominal area. It helps in elimination of waste from the body. It moves downwards. There's Vyanavayu, that moves throughout the body and it controls all the movements of our body. There's Udanavayu, that governs our throat area and it helps in the speech and expression and power of the perception. There's Samanavayu, that is located between the heart and the navel and that is responsible for assimilation of our food and distribution of the nutrients from it. So these are the pancha pranas, very, very important to carry out all the processes. There are physical activities happening in our body, there are mental activities happening in our body, and energy is needed for all this. So this energy is being supplied through the nadis and chakras. We will see about nadis and chakras in coming classes. So friends, we know in the universe, anything and everything that is existing has its own magnetic field. Our magnetic field lies in Pranamaya Kosha. And if we are aware of our breath, this Pranamaya Kosha, it works in harmony with all other layers. So this was about Pranamaya Kosha. So friends, here there is a small picture you can see. There's a car and there's a petrol being put in the car. As we have been saying that our physical body is hardware. If we think our hardware is this car and our energy body is this petrol, you can see there is car, there is petrol. Is that enough to move the car? It needs driver. So who is the driver for our hardware? It is this Manomaya Kosha. It is a third layer. It is a psychological layer. It is Sukshma Sharira because we cannot see it. And it is subtler than the Pranamaya Kosha. And this has influence over our Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha. It regulates the activities of Annamaya Kosha and Pranamaya Kosha. This layer constitutes our thoughts, emotions, and the perception from 5 sense organs. If we are walking along the roadside and we come across some beautiful flower, we wish to enjoy its beauty for a while. So the moment the thought comes, what happens? The mind gives the signal to the body to walk near it. Our legs take us near the flower. So we go close to the flower. We enjoy its beauty with our eyes. We feel its touch with our hands. We enjoy its fragrance with our nose. So we are deriving joy out of this. How this is all happening? Who's regulating this? It is the Manomaya Kosha that has given the instructions and our body is acting accordingly. We are not even aware of it. It just happens. So we know who is the driver for our hardware now. So this Manomaya Kosha, It holds our emotions, our thoughts, our feelings, our fears, our phobias, our likes, our dislikes. And this can get triggered very easily. It can get corrupted also very easily. We come across many situations in day-to-day life. Sometimes they make us upset, they cause stress in us. Like even if our daily life, if the maid doesn't come on time, we get restless. She's going to come or not? Our restlessness starts. Manomaya kosha gets disturbed. We are getting late to the office. We get restless. The audit going on in the office. We are under stress. There's project we have to submit, and the deadline is getting closer. We get stressed. So these are all the trigger points where Manomaya kosha gets triggered and it gets corrupted. So to avoid that, we should learn acceptance. If we accept that moment as it is and keep doing our duty and leave the result, its impact to the universe, universe will take care of it. Accept the result. That is what is going to save us from getting these triggers and it's getting corrupted. And also, friends, meditation helps a lot. See, when our hands are soiled, we wash them under the water, and what happens? Our hands come out clean. The soil is all gone. So, whenever we are stressed, whenever we are triggered, our manomaya kosha is getting corrupted. Just sit for meditation. Like soil getting cleansed, all these trigger points they get washed off with the meditation. But what happens? And if we do it often, it is very easy. But if we leave it, if there is soil on our hands and we leave it like that only and we think that we'll wash it later, what happens? It settles on our fingers, on our hands. And when we try to clean it, it takes time because it would have become harder. It would have formed a thick layer by then. So it takes time. We need to scrub. We need to spend longer time washing our hands. So same thing happens with us. If we don't practice meditation all the time, and once in a while if we do, and we say, I'm not able to do meditation, I do not get the results. So this is what it is. Meditation we must do always. Do not accumulate our triggers in our minds. So we were discussing about manomaya kosha. So we can explore this layer by doing meditation, the practice of meditation. And when manomaya kosha is well balanced, our thoughts become rational, logical. That improves our actions and interactions. And that is how we improve as a person. So this was all about manomaya kosha. Friends, we can see there's a car here, there's a driver here. What happens many times, driver is not the one who decides where the car should move. He is influenced by someone else. There's something else that is influencing him, directing him. So here there is Vijnanamaya kosha, which has the influence on our driver, Manomaya kosha. So this is the fourth layer. And this is also Sukshma Sharira because we cannot see it. It is intellectual layer where it has the intellect, knowledge, our ego, and it also holds perception of from our five sense organs. And it is subtler than the all earlier layers. This is the kosha where we learn to discriminate, analyze things, think about the situations, think about certain matters, decide what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. So we take decisions, and that is through Vigyanmay Kosha. So this Vigyanmay Kosha and Manomay Kosha, they both together direct our thought process. And this is the thought process that sets our belief system. And our belief system makes our personality. So our personality is formed through the Manomay Kosha and Vigyanmay Kosha together. So when we tune ourselves with the knowledge and intellect, our perception improves, and hence our thoughts become more fruitful, our actions become more fruitful, and thus we have the better control over ourselves. But what happens when there is a gap in the knowledge? The gap in the knowledge does not give us the right perception. It influences our perception. When our perception can go wrong, then it gives a room to the ego, pride. We become stubborn. So if we have these, our expansion stops. So it is important to gather the knowledge, to learn more things and understand. So this was about the Vigyanmay Kosha. We see the next layer, Anandamay Kosha. This is the fifth layer, and it is the subtlest layer of all the layers. It is also called Karan Sharira. This layer is pure bliss, joy, peace, love, happiness. At this layer, we realize our universal existence. At this layer, we become one with God. Here we go beyond me, mine, our physical body. We understand that as much we are part of our family, our home, that much we are part of our society, this world, this universe. So we come to understand that we are part of this universe, and universe, we belong to this universe, and universe belongs to us. So the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is attained here. And this kosha is very close to Atman or Brahman. This kosha is always, at this kosha, we are always happy in bliss. We don't need any external causes to be happy, to be in bliss. It all comes from within. There's no outer world existing for this kosha. There's no day, night, there are no friends, no enemies. There's no good, bad. It is all beyond our body, mind, intelligence. So friends, this is about Anandamay Kosha. And now that we know that we exist in the 5 layers, we are not just the physical body. We are not just this flesh, bones, and all these functions happening in the body or mind. We are much more than that. So when we start thinking about ourselves with respect to all these layers, our minds, our thoughts do not remain limited. We expand ourselves, and that is why it helps us to go from our physical eye to the spiritual eye. So all of us have Panchakoshas, and all of us can use our body, mind, emotions and intelligence for a greater purpose, for a higher purpose in life, beyond me, mine, and we can move into universal existence. We can become one with God. So, friends, this was all about Pancha Koshas. Thank you for giving me time. I hope I was able to convey the right understanding with the five koshas. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So, Ashok sir, over to you.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. Friends, will start our meditation. We'll take up questions after the meditation. Yeah. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you.
Masters, today we learned all about the Pancha Koshas, the five sheets of life. Let us all proceed towards our today's meditation and try to imbibe the wisdom that we have gained today. For all those who have joined us for the very first time for meditation, please follow our instructions and you will be able to get into deep meditative state. Relax your body, take a comfortable posture, sit at a quiet place. There will be a background music playing. The music will be a reminder for you all to be attentive of your breathing throughout this whole process. Do not get swayed away by the music. Just use it as a reminder and attention back to your breathing, just in case you get carried of life. Let us all proceed towards our today's meditation and try to imbibe the wisdom that we have gained today. For all those who have joined us for the very first time for meditation, please follow our instructions and you will be able to get into deep meditative state. Relax your body, take a comfortable posture, sit at a quiet place. There will be a background music playing. The music will be a reminder for you all to be attentive of your breathing throughout this whole process. Do not get swayed away by the music. Just use it as a reminder and keep bringing your awareness and attention back to your breathing, just in case you get carried away by your thoughts. My dear friends and masters, the Pancha Kosha model presents the human organism as consisting and containing of five koshas or layers of consciousness, from the densest to the subtlest elements of existence. Although each one of us is comprised of all five layers, not everyone experiences himself or herself that way. So, whenever we listen about going inside during meditation or during silence, what usually is being referred is the innate desire to move our consciousness from the outer layers to the inner layers. Today we got to know about the 5 koshas, or the 5 layers of being. A very quick reminder on what we learned. Think of this human form like a set of 5 Russian nesting dolls. Many people get stuck operating at the outermost layers without ever consciously realizing there are deeper layers, without recognizing how they are each related to one another. It is as if each nesting doll is operating separately, as opposed to them all moving as one cohesive unit. With a dedicated spiritual practice, with continuous meditation, you will be able to go on a journey to your innermost state, which is appropriately defined as bliss. My dear friends and masters, let us prepare ourselves for this inner journey. Journey through the koshas is intuitive and natural. Let it all come to you naturally and gradually. Please find yourself seated in a comfortable posture, sitting with your back straight and your legs crossed. If you are sitting on a chair, you may cross your legs at your ankles. Clasp your palms, fingers into fingers, and gently close your eyes. Take a few moments to relax yourself, to relax every part of your body. Today, let us take a 5-step approach. In the first few minutes, let the physical body work through its initial stretch, stiffness, sores, or strengths. Remember, my dear friends and masters, the physical body is the initial access point for the spiritual work, but it is not the only aim of your practice. Once you become aware of your physical body, that is the moment to bring attention to your breath, the pranamaya kosh. Be attentive on how the energy moves through your system. When experiencing the Pranamaya Kosha, there is a sense of fluidity and flow, since the breath and prana are moving energy throughout the entire system. Be attentive of your breathing. As your breathing helps you calm your mind, as your breathing helps you move away from your stuck emotions, that, my dear friends and masters, is the Manomaya Kosha. A state where your thoughts don't bother you, a state where you are not stuck in emotions. Breathe and experience this calmness. Once your mind experiences a more peaceful state, there is greater access to awareness and wisdom. The mental fluctuations seem to slow down or stop altogether, creating space for intuition and greater understanding. Experience this calmness. Experience this energy. Experience this space being created for a greater understanding in the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Breathe and be at peace. As you get ahead in this inner journey, it opens you to knowing the core of your being. Understanding this core as a quiet sense of aliveness and joy. This is the experience of Anandamaya Kosha. Breathe in this quiet sense of aliveness. This is the core of your being. Be attentive of your breathing. Be attentive of this joy. whenever you experience, however briefly it may be, a sense of perfect contentment and presence with the moment, just as it is. That, my dear friends and masters, is the moment you would have tapped into your Anandamaya Kosha. That, my dear friends and masters, is the innermost nesting doll. Even a brief moment of pure bliss is enough to remind us who we truly are. With this, let us now prepare to return back to our physical consciousness. Hold a deep sense of gratitude towards today's practice on this innermost journey. Remember, my dear friends, with practice and dedication, you will be able to drop into a state of bliss, into your Anandamaya Kosha, with ease and regularity. Cultivating a sense of curiosity and wonder about the depth of your being is one of the most transformational elements of this spiritual journey. Having a deep sense of gratitude towards your spiritual journey, it is now time to return. Slowly bring your awareness back. Unclasp your palms and rub them together, and gently place them over your eyes. Slowly open your eyes on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whenever you feel ready, you may release your palms and welcome back.
Masters, it was a wonderful meditation. Thanks to Sneha ma'am. Masters, if you have any questions, any experience sharing, please do come forward.
Anita madam, much gratitude to you. Beautiful explanation of the koshas and really wonderful, and understood much better than earlier. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. It's a beautiful session, and we heard many times about this Pancha Koshas from Parmeshwaran sir, but the way you narrated each kosha was beautiful, and your voice is very mesmerizing. Thank you very much for a very detailed explanation of all these koshas.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Hari, sir.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. I'm just going to reiterate what Ashok sir mentioned. Your voice was so sweet, and the way you explained, it was so easy for us to understand. I enjoyed it to the most. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hari sir.
Thank you, Hari sir. Yes, Naina ma'am.
Namaste, masters. Anita ma'am very beautifully explained, and there was so much of terror in your voice. It was so good and so last to hear. Thank you so much. Very nicely explained. Actually, today I got to know so much. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. God bless you. And
Thank you.
Sneha ma'am. Yeah, Sneha ma'am, as usual, very nice voice. Thank you. Beautiful, both of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Naina ma'am. Vidya ma'am.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. I mean, I'm not saying anything different. Like everyone said, beautifully you presented. And of course, your voice is beautiful. It's like you were talking to, you could teach little children too, so sweetly, softly, and like, patiently you explain. I love your examples. You showed so many, like you were peeling layer by layer and showing us the body. Yes, I can see you put a lot of effort, your slides, and you knew what you were talking about. You explained very nicely. Thank you. And of course, Sneha ma'am's meditation complemented what you did. Thank you.
Thank you, Vidya ma'am.
If masters, any experience sharing? I know Anita ma'am has done so wonderfully well. There are no more questions, I guess. Shalini ma'am is showing thumbs up.
Thank you, Shalini ma'am.
Ma'am, please unmute. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
It was very nice, madam. I like it very much. Your voice, your examples, everything was very much appreciable. Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Guide us like this only.
Yeah. Thank you, Shalini ji. Thank you.
Okay. Namaste.
Thank you, Shalini ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah, Anila ma'am, yeah.
Thank you, Anita ma'am. Actually, before I used to read these books 2-3 times, but I could not, I didn't understand it properly. But today I had a clear idea. Yeah, the class was very nice. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Sneha ma'am, also.
Thank you, Anila ma'am.
Thank you. Okay.
I must thank Chandra sir for his great guidance and certain things which were not clear to me, that I got them clarified from Chandra sir.
Yes, yes.
Pitamaha, anything to add?
Well, what can I add? She did it so well that I'm currently dumbstruck. And then she has the audacity to say, Chandra sir did it for me. No way. She did it herself. Simply distributing credit, not correct, Anita. You have done a wonderful job, and one cannot undermine that. She practiced so many times that even the word perfect has got redefined. To her credit. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the subject of Pancha Koshas was so wide. I was bombarding ma'am with material. I think she brought this true essence. Yeah. Very nice. Thank you, Anita ma'am. Thank you.
Why in the last moment she has simply gone off screen. Anita, you should be on screen. You did a very good job. There's no doubt.
Miss Masters, any experience sharing, any questions? Still you have any, I think, please comment.
And Anita ji, one question, and maybe Ravali madam, you and Chandra sir, you guys went through so much of an material to bring it to this crisp level, a very simplified level. So what is the best book that you guys suggest to the people that they can read about these koshas?
If you want to read about koshas, I will not suggest a book.
Okay.
I will suggest a couple of videos.
Okay.
One is the Pancha Koshas by one Dr. Ananda Bhavnani, who runs a yoga center in Pondicherry. And the other one is Swami Sarvapriyananda's lecture on Pancha Koshas. These are the two that I personally would recommend if we want clarity. Because the more we read a book, there is so much theory that we will suffer from or we will be overwhelmed with information. So I would recommend, even if you read a book, please go through these two lectures. Ravali, if you have, can you post the links for the benefit of people? If not now, we can post it in the group, of course.
Yeah, I'll post in the WhatsApp. Right.
Yeah,
Dr. Babita wants to say something.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, okay. Yes, Babita.
Thanks, Masters and Anita ma'am. The thing regarding koshas were very beautifully explained. But I want to ask whether these koshas really exist, because we are not able to feel it as a normal person. And does this koshas you can experience with meditation?
Ma'am, Barbita ma'am, yes, definitely. When we do meditation, we realize many things which otherwise we do not know that they're existing. We only read about them, but it's only the experience and the level of meditation. Meditation is a thing, the more you do, that takes you towards the truth. And how did this Pancha Kosha concept come into Taittiriya Upanishad? It is through Bhrigu Rishi, who has done the meditation. As he progressed in his meditation, he came across these layers one by one, one by one. He experienced them. And that is how we know them. So it is all the meditation experience. They do exist.
Now, maybe I will add to what Anita said. Since you are a doctor, you will appreciate the outermost layer, the physical layer, the Annamaya Kosha, is something you feel, which is your anatomy. The Pranamaya Kosha you can feel. You can touch the Annamaya Kosha. You can feel the Pranamaya Kosha, which is your physiology. Beyond that, they are all subtle layers. You have the emotional body, which is your Manomaya Kosha. You have your intellectual body, which is your intellect, your knowledge, your thinker. The Anandamaya Kosha is basically the bliss. So these are all energy levels that are varying, which encompass the Atma as the innermost layer. So you do experience them, you don't realize them. And while meditating, you get more clarity because all these come under control and balance.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir. You explained it very well. Like I was thinking that some aura is means outer of this our physical body. So you explained that the anatomical body is the Annamaya Kosha.
Yes.
Thanks, sir. Thanks, sir and ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Jyoti ma'am, yeah. Please unmute.
You're muted.
Yes, Anita ma'am, very beautifully explained. Really loved it. With so much of love and affection. Thank you so much. My question is, see, as per Jain philosophy, this our karmas and all are like particles stored in one of our bodies. So any idea on that? Maybe Chandra sir can answer if he knows.
I don't know Jain philosophy.
Yeah, so they believe that these karmas are basically some particles which are maybe energy or whatever, but it is something somewhere stored in us. And we carry
One part of it is correct, Jyoti. It is energy. However, these are all the subtle layers which are part of your this one, which is in the pineal gland. So all these are stored within the body and they are available in our pineal gland, which takes us through every part of every life. We take a portion of it. This is probably the desires that we have. All these manifest as, what is karma in your understanding? It is a sort of an energy exchange.
Yes.
At the quantum level. If it is energy exchange, if I give you energy and I expect it back, there is a credit debit created. Correct. So that is karma. That credit and debit. And if I expect it back, then what happens? You have to take a birth to return it to me, and I have to take a birth to receive it back. That is karma. So with this background, they have to exist in us in the energy backlog component with our soul. That is there in two areas. One is your Akashic record, the other one is your pineal gland. Because pineal gland is again one of the seeds. The pineal gland is supposed to consist of 12 seeds. One of the seed is a record of your reincarnations right from the first level of the soul to date, just like your Akashic. So yes, the answer is yes. I don't know about the Jain philosophy, but based on what I am reading, I am giving you the explanation.
Okay. Thank you, Chandra sir.
And one input to that is like the pineal gland is the all-knowing, the whole Akashic record of our whole existence is there in the pineal gland. That's why the activation, third eye activation makes sense, past, present, future. But as sir said, our karma, our karmic actions manifest through our chakras. All our 4 chakras are always, the exchange happens through there. So yeah, maybe if ma'am will go further into chakras, it will be much helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi ma'am.
We have Rajini ma'am with the raised hand.
Yeah, Rajni ma'am.
Question is, when we die, which of the koshas die and which carry through?
Very good
Out
question.
of the 5.
Very good
Yes.
question. Think about it practically. Just think for a minute before we give the answer. Does your anatomy die?
Yeah, the body dies. Annamaya kosha definitely dies.
Okay. Do you breathe?
Pranamaya kosha is also breath related. I think when breath leaves, pranamaya kosha leaves.
Right.
And
All the others are
manomaya,
subtle. Manomaya, all these are emotions. They are emotions, which is energy.
Manomaya, I'm not sure if it exists on its own or it's fed by the other layer.
See, everything, including the manomaya upwards, is energy. From the energy perspective, they do exist. They go with you. And they come back as your next life as energy components, which is part of your karma, desire. All these are part of the emotion. So they are with you till your soul experiences them.
So my thought pattern continues to be the same.
Yes. That is why, see, some of them who are conscious at the time of their leaving the current body, they come back, and at the age of 3, 4, or 5 or 6, they become excellent performers. Where is all that coming from?
Okay.
Like we all know Balamurali Krishna, he started singing publicly or giving performances from the young age of 5 or 6. Where is that energy emanating from? Right? So those are the kind of things. For example, even Shankaracharya, for that matter, of course, we have at least my Pitamaha Parameswaran sir here, who can add lot of value to whatever we are trying to give you. But yes, it does exist with you. That comes back with you in the coming incarnations. Either lock, stock and barrel or components. Lock, stock and barrel we cannot handle, so only components will come back to us. Sir, I want you to add to this. You're muted.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It's a pleasure. See, first of all, somebody was asking the 5 layers, it is not exactly like peeling of an onion, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay. It is not exactly, it is, see, now we say soul is inside, in the heart, you see like that. But actually, whether the body is in the soul or soul is in the body. Like this here too, contemplate and understand. It is both, you can say. When you meditate, you feel the light inside like that, then when you expand. But the reality is, soul is all-encompassing. So it is like that, the 5 koshas also, it was existing, all masters, sages knew it. Only the Bhrigu was a student like us. Then he was asked to find himself. So it was not the starting point. Okay. So he was asked. So this is how the ancient wisdom was passed on. You have to experiment. Here also, so we should experiment rather than simply reading and talking about it. Little bit. Then we will come to know from feeling. So it can be even explained the 5 koshas the other way also. Gross, Annamaya kosha, then go to like that. And indirectly, that's what she said. Reverse also you can say. Annamaya kosha, then expanding Pranamaya. So Pranamaya is energy body. See, somebody was telling, how do we know? About the Pranamaya Kosha, aura, Kirlian photography is a proof now. And today, beyond that has been invented. The aura has been photographed by Kirlian, Russian photographer. So our aura can be photographed. So that itself shows that yes, it is there. And it can be even American, I remember I was just checking the scientific study of human aura by Tart, a professor of psychology at the University of California at Davis, USA, delineates the following aspects of human aura: the physical aura, psychological aura, psychical aura, and the projected aura. So these are all now done scientifically. It is not known or not possible. So as you meditate, you start feeling. See, how to heal? See here, balancing means what? Actually, harmonium is there. Harmonium is a musical instrument. So the word harmony, when there is harmony between all these koshas, you reach that blissful state, Anandamaya kosha. So going subtler and subtler. So the body, physical body, Annamaya is the Sthula Sharira. The other three, Pranamaya, Manomaya, and Vijnanamaya is Sukshma Sharira. They are subtler. Then still subtler, the causal body we call as Anandamaya kosha. So when we transcend this, or when we integrate, we reach that Anandamaya kosha. So for integrated yoga therapy we do. So for each 5 koshas, we have system of healing. So for physical body, yes, movement, asanas, etc. is needed. For the pranamaya kosha, that is what we call as pranayama, controlling the prana. It is not just breath. So through breath, the content of breath is prana. So by pranamaya kosha, we see that the energy is flowing all over. So that can be experienced. And that can be photographed also before pranayama, after pranayama. Take a Kirlian photography. There are centers. You check. You can see the difference. It is not in the physical nadis what we talk about. It is subtler channels. So it changes. So it is visible. It can be seen through this eyes itself in the photography. Then for the mind, the likes and dislikes is in the mind, manomaya kosha. All gross level bundle of thoughts, conglomeration of thoughts. So for that, God has given us the next layer, subtler, Vijnanamaya kosha. So this sort of satsang, when we attend, when we read the right book, right knowledge, when we get, we start. Say, mind says, you see a beautiful rose. So mind seeing. So what happened to the mind? As soon as you see, you feel like, oh, it is beautiful, he said. Then immediately a next thought comes, I want that. So I want like that. So then your inner mind says, that is higher mind, we say, in the light, buddhi. Only human have this faculty, discriminating for. It says, no, it is not your garden, it is somebody, should not. So it comes and says, no, it's the higher mind, like that. So this is how we can understand. So the same I only, this man changes. Say, first I want, then next moment, you think, oh, no, I should not take it. Somebody who is telling that, that is your Vijnanamaya kosha. Like that. And when you learn like this and understand, practice meditation, practice silence, practice yukta ahara viharasya, you have been talking, then you find, doing nothing, you find you are in a blissful state. That means you are in Anandamaya kosha. You can operate in Anandamaya kosha then once you practice. As simple as that actually. It is not complicated. But theoretically, reading books alone will not. As Chandra Modali sir, my Adi Shankaracharya's incarnation, I will say, is Sarva Priyananda today in YouTube. Wonderfully, he gives everything so practical. See, he does puja. Many of us were asking, now I am in the spirituality, I stopped my puja, I going to temple. No, he does puja. He is doing this. He is showing Arati to Swami Vivekananda, to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So I have not stopped. I reduce. So I was wondering, am I right? Am I right like that? Some gurus who are giving conflicting views. And Sarva Priyananda gives the wonderful answer, as he rightly said, who has the interest to understand, listen to his, you get the right answer. There is no the right and wrong. And simple reading of books may only confuse us more. So contemplating is more important. I think this should be enough. And Brahmananda Lavalli, we were chanting the other day, yesterday, I think, day before yesterday. See, first he says Nirvana Shataka, the same Adi Shankara, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. Then another one, it is all his compositions only. Next he says, I am this, I am this. See the subtle difference. And the same Adi Shankaracharya has only created Saundarya Lahari, the waves of beauty, and Mother Divine. So people were confused, but that was earlier. That is to understand why that, by doing puja, you can reach the meditative state, merge, laya, like music. So, Bindu Trigona Vasukona, Dashara Yukma, Manvasranagadala Samyuda Shodasharam, Vrittatrayan Sadanatrayancha, Sri Chakrarajamudidam, Paradevataya. This is how we start, Sri Vidya Rahasya. So gross level, you start from gross to subtle. First he sees the Mother Divine in Yandra Swarupa. We are having the same Yandra in our body actually. Subtle body is nothing but Sri Yandra, Sri Chakra. Then in the end only, half the Saundarya Lahari is only like that. It talks about. Then comes the physical beauty, he is seeing the physical beauty. But when you say physical beauty, we are thinking in a small human form. It is much beyond. He is seeing Mother Divine's two eyes as Surya and Chandra. So you can imagine what will be the size. So the proportion. So then he goes. And another sloka he says in Saundarya Lahari, Bhavani Tvam Dase Mayi Vitara Drishtim Sakarunam. Idis Totum Vanchan Kadayadi Bhavani Tvam Itiyaha. Tadevatvam Tasmai Dishasi. Nija Sayujya Padavim. Mugunda Brahmendra Spudamaguda Nirajita Patam. See, I just came to you just to see a glance of your vision. That's all. Then Vitara Drishtim Sakarunam. Just I wanted, that's all. Then what he says? Bhavani Tvam Dasame, like a servant I came. But what you gave me is Ayujya Padavi. Bhavani Tvam, I became Tvam. Bhavani Tvam, Ishwaratvam, Manishyattvam, Devatvam, we say. He became that. Ultimately, he merges with there. Here comes oneness. See, he becomes that. He forget everything. He becomes big. So other things are paths. You can reach that. So more than that, so many like this life examples are there of our great sages. Swami Vivekananda led us like that. So first thing is faith. Faith is the starting point. If you doubt, doubting Thomases will reach nowhere. That's the only thing. Some amount of faith in yourself, faith in the Almighty. Some power is there. Like that, when you proceed, you start getting answers from within. Thank you. Time is already getting late.
Thank you, Parmeshwar sir. Great wisdom. I remember of this Abhyasa, Vairagya and Shraddha Saburi of Sai Baba. Faith and patience, continuous practice and be detached. Beautiful, sir. Thank you.
True, true.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you, Masters. So it was a wonderful session today. Thanks to Anita ma'am for all her efforts and to bring such a content so beautifully, because the content is so diverse. For us to bring it in a layman's language is a lot of effort. And thank you so much, Anita ma'am, for that. And thank you everyone for patiently listening, and because it's a beautiful wisdom for everyone to understand our physical body. Yes, Babita ma'am, we'll take this last question. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. I want to ask, when we say we sometimes come into contact with a saintly person, so we feel very peaceful. So what is that? It is the aura. We say we got into the energy aura level of the saint and we are feeling peaceful. So what is that? It is related to kosha, or it is something else?
Yeah, permissions I want to answer.
Yes, it is exactly. That's what I said. No, it's the aura. Their aura attracts. So it is the energy in them. It is when you are in Anandamaya, only such people you get attracted when they are in blissful states. So this can only be felt. So when you go to certain gurus, even how to get a guru, people go. Popular people, they just go. Just by popularity, millions of people are following. Need not be. You may find somebody just walking across, somebody talking. You may find he may be an enlightened soul. But you get that attraction, that magnetism, what we talk about, you know. Just like magnet, we get attracted. That is that inner energy, which cannot be explained. And some people can see the light in some people. You see, say, you look bright. You say, what is that? You just express from your heart, you know, even your own friend, somebody say, today you look so bright. Don't we say like that? Has my skin changed? No, skin is same, or would have become even worse today than yesterday, aging. But what you see is that real attraction is that magnetism. More than this, what more proof you need? Right?
In today's term, it's like second law of thermodynamics. Energy flows from the higher level to the lower level. So it gets compensated. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, sir, is it the energy expands out of the body? Because when the saint has gone, that time also we can feel that energy. So what is that?
The pranic energy is not like the electrical current and other current. Swayameva tanavam yadi, swayameva pinadam yadi. It can expand, it can contract. Prana. Prana is everywhere. Pranasyedam vasche sarvam tritibeyat pradishtidam. Madeva putran rakshasva srishta prajnamscha videhinaidi. This is the prayer we say. The prana, you are the controller of the three worlds. Bhuhu, bhuha, swaha. When we chant, that is the real meaning. So that energy is always there. You just get connected. So it is unlimited. It is possible. Everything is possible. Right?
Yeah, like the
it's
story
all experiencing
of,
little.
Yes. The Buddha story and the Angulimala story. Yeah? The auric field of Buddha was so wide, expanding to kilometers, that even the emotional status of such dacoit like Angulimala could also got changed. Yeah, it has an influence.
Yeah. He comes to Buddha, but before reaching itself, his mind changed and he became his disciple. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
99 already he cut, and 100th he wanted to cut Buddhas. That is the story. Childhood days we have heard, but all these are meaningful. Today, if you contemplate, you understand why all these stories. Such stories we should give to today's younger generation. Motivate. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, masters. Thank you so much. Wonderful discussion. Thank you, Anita ma'am. So tomorrow we'll meet again, starting with the introduction of chakras. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you, Anita ma'am. Thank you, Parameshwaran sir. Wonderful inputs. Great wisdom. Thank you. Thank you, Chandra sir. Yeah, thank you.